We'll go over the main segment of the Raw After Mania, which was a big chunk of Raw. It was about 45 minutes or so between The Rock and Cody Rhodes.
Commercial free.
Commercial free, yeah. So I'll go over this little summary that I created. But the Raw After Mania, I think this was the best Raw After Mania I'll say in 5 years since before COVID. Last year's, a lot of people have crapped on it because it was still that period where we weren't sure if Vince McMahon was here or he wasn't here. And a lot of people thought 39 was amazing, and they thought Triple H's fingerprints were on it. And then when Raw After Mania happened, we were like, oh, Vince McMahon's back. This made no sense. Like,
this sucks. Vince must be back.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was just the assumption. And there was some truth to that. Vince McMahon was in there, and apparently he did rip up things and change things with vintage Vince. That's what he used to do. And this year's Raw After Mania really did feel more cohesive, and it just made sense. Like that feels like such a low bar to have, but it just like the flow of the show just made sense, and they planted a lot of seeds. They introduced a bunch of people into the main event, into the main roster that some people may have never heard of, like Ilja Dragunov, who's the NXT champion, and the NXT Women's Champion. I just forgot her name, but hold on, I just have it. Roxanne Perez. There we go. Yeah, just a really good flow. Let's talk about this main segment. I don't know, Andres, if you had a chance to watch it, but I'll just kind of briefly go over.
I've seen the highlights of it.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was that long though.
Oh yeah, I think they might have cut it down for like YouTube clips, but this was their 17th sellout show in a row. I'm really curious to see where how many they keep selling out even after Mania. If it dies down, if it just keeps going, that'll be interesting to see, especially like this upcoming SmackDown. But they had an attendance record of 20,248 at the Wells Fargo Center, which they were there like this was like their third time now. So the stage was very narrow. I think they actually had a nicer layout than what they gave to Chicago, because Chicago, for whatever reason, they still gave us like a biggish screen, and it was like kind of pushed out. So that specific section that we were in for that Raw specifically, like I think you guys felt like there was a little bit of a limited view from like that angle where we were sitting, right?
It would have been like if you're a couple next to us.
Right.
But like we were good.
Yeah, like we could still see we could see the ring and stuff, but it was still like a little pushed out. And the layout at Wells Fargo, it was basically kind of like a Madison Square Garden like Royal Rumble kind of entrance thing. Like it's short, but everyone who's around the arena can see everything. Like no one's blocked off. It was very minimalist, and it's a good idea if you can put asses in seats and you can sell more seats. And that's what Triple H said. Instead of showing off the latest like LED screen technology, what he cares more about is the people within that arena who can give you a reaction. I think that's smart. Like, why wouldn't you put more asses in seats for the sake of less screens? I think that's smart. So yes, the 17th sellout. The fans. We got Triple H coming out. You got a whole thank you Hunter before even he can say a word. He thanked the crowd, and everyone keeps saying it's one of the biggest WrestleManias, or the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Some people say it's the best. I think recency bias might cloud some people's judgment, but I definitely think it's a top 5 for sure. I think I'd need some time with it to actually truly see if it's the greatest of all time. But it's definitely the biggest. Cody Rhodes came out. He received a big reaction. Eventually, they started chanting, "You deserve it." Hunter confirmed WWE didn't have it staged because he wanted to fit more people in the building. And then he gave Like this also made me tear up, and maybe I'm just a crybaby, and that's why I'm a Cody crybaby, or I'm just I don't know, I'm emotional. But like Triple H, and it felt genuine. He was basically saying that the guys in the back wanted to put together a video package to thank Cody for this, and apparently Cody didn't know this was happening. So they showed the video, they put the video up, and they basically were like, all right, here's the video, and now we also have like a little picture in picture to show like Cody's reaction, because they were probably like, oh, he's gonna cry, he always cries at everything. And yeah, just a really good, like, feel good video. Like, oh, you're the champion now, this is all you've accomplished. I mean, it was really good.
One thing I'll
Yeah.
point out really quick,
Go
it
for
seems like the WWE is also actually laxed on a lot of things too with their promotions, because they were showing photos of Cody with the Young Bucks when they
Oh,
were
right.
forming AEW, pictures with him and Kenny Omega, and I was like, damn, like
Good point.
that used to be very taboo before. They were just like, oh, that we don't see that, but we know it exists. But no, they're like straight up like, here,
Yeah.
he was doing this while he was gone.
I mean, even like, I mean, just yeah, in general, like just acknowledging that promotions exist, like by not don't insult our intelligence. Like we know that AEW exists, that TNA exists. They used to like they used to pretend like these guys never existed. That when the guys came here, that they didn't have a history beforehand. There was like maybe a vague reference to something that they did before, but there's actual acknowledgments and people appearing like from TNA and from Stardom during Stand and Deliver. They had Julia with Rossi in the audience, and they pointed the camera at them, and they made a point that they were here celebrating WrestleMania weekend. Like that's crazy, but also like that's the real world, baby. Like. And having, you know, acknowledgement of this stuff just makes it cooler, and it just it gives it another like level of like freshness that I haven't seen before. Like this company is taking these things seriously and it's realistic and all that kind of stuff, you know. Good point. Yeah, that was a good point. Good. Yeah, that maybe the only time they will ever be in a WWE ring is through that footage. But yeah, so they did the picture in picture. He was crying. He did the whole that he became emotional. Then Cody Rhodes basically got Samantha Irvin to announce his victory as as the WWE champion. Which was nice, but I also feel like that's a little bit of a heel tactic, you know, like it's just a slight shade, like, hey, can you announce me as the champion again, please? Like that's like seems like a traditional heel tactic, but so and then Rhodes was acknowledging Roman Reigns as champion, and you got a big thank you Roman chant. He was talking about why he does this, and he shows a clip of his daughter Liberty saying Papa finished the story, which is very cute. I wonder how many takes they had to do for her to actually say it correctly. But that was really cute. Talking about how he was undesirable and undeniable to undisputed, you know, champion. And then he gets interrupted by The Rock, and this was the best part of the entire show. Again, like just giving this man his flowers. He knows how he has the crowd in the palm of his hands. Just the way he delivers it, the subtlety of like putting his mic to the microphone and knowing like, oh, they got booze, I'm gonna put it down and just let them have it, you know. Really, really going for it. They started chanting Rocky sucks. They were chanting Undertaker at him. Then they were chanting shut the fuck up. That I was like, oh, my sound must not be working, but they just kept chanting that, you know, for a minute or so. And then Pat McAfee was basically kind of like supporting The Rock over the Philadelphia fans. And The Rock said, The Rock is a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. And that's actually a throwback to when he was originally a heel right after the Nation of Domination, I think. I don't know if it's during or like right after when he became a single star. But
no, that was when he joined.
When he joined, okay, yeah. Like that was a good callback. That was really cool. He continued to battle the crowd, and then yeah, Rock was censored because he was dropping a bunch of F-bombs, but that crowd loved that shit. Like they were eating that up. The Rock congratulated Cody. He insisted his People's Championship was real, which is really that's the other thing that just makes him like a bigger asshole. But it's just that like yeah, why not? Why wouldn't he have his own belt? Like that's funny. And kindly asked if The Rock could hold the belt. After all, he never held that title. So there was this whole segment of like, let me, I'll show you mine if you show me yours kind of thing. And then the crowd kind of basically broke into fans chanting, this is awkward. Which
Yep.
it was a little weird, and maybe that was the point of the segment, or maybe they didn't think that it would come across as weird, but it definitely did.
Yes.
And The Rock said he had to leave for a while, and the whole crowd was basically singing the "na na 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 hey hey goodbye" chants, which I haven't heard in a long time. But he said when he's coming back when he comes back, he's coming for Cody Rhodes, and Rhodes said that he's looking forward to it. And then this is the biggest, I think this is the biggest part that everyone's talking about on social media, is that The Rock put something in Cody's hand, and then he told Cody to never break his heart again, which was weird, again, I'll say. And the plot thickens. It went almost an hour, along with my current talk probably went like a good 10 minutes. But what did you think of this segment? And what do you think he put in his hand? That's what everyone wants to know. There were memes, and I saw the memes. And one of them was, it was a pair of tickets to Black Adam, and he said, "Don't break my heart again." But what I told Chris last night during our stream of WWE 2K24, which you guys can check out because we will be doing it in the future. I thought that maybe he like forgot the stuff in his pocket, because he was like, he held it like a fist and then he put it in his hand, but it was like you can't see what it was, and I thought maybe he was like, oh shit, I didn't bring it, so he just made sure like hold it like this for the longest time so the camera doesn't catch that it's actually nothing. But in story there it is some kind of item, but I don't know what it could be. So what do you guys think they gave Cody?
They're saying that it might be the Rolex that Cody had gifted all three of them, Roman, Rollins, and Rock.
So he gave one to The Rock too? Okay.
Yeah.
See, that makes sense. That's probably what it is. Because I don't know, what else could it
Actually, I
be?
have no idea. I have no idea.
Because like, what is that? Like, what does that mean? Don't break my heart again. See, like that when he said that, I thought it was something that might have involved the initial switch that they had before the We Want Cody stuff, where he was like, "I'm gonna wrestle you, but not at WrestleMania," and then he gave The Rock the match against Roman Reigns, and then he said it was BS, and then they switched it back. I thought maybe it might have tied into that, because I was thinking, well, he gave you the match, and then The Rock probably thanked him and told him something nice during that SmackDown episode, that he whispered something into his ear. And then I think the breaking of his heart was reverting back and telling him to go F himself. I'm getting the championship match at WrestleMania. And I think that's maybe what he means by breaking his heart again.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, I don't know why he would accept the watch. Like, he took it, and this is after the fact that this match happened, and then he gives it back to him the night after. Like that. I don't know what it is, but if that's where they're following it, I'd like for them to address why that happened, and I'm sure they'll address it. But I think that you might be right with the watch, and I think the reasoning is what I just said. But we'll see, and it doesn't seem like they'll be encountering each other for a while. Maybe not until next year's WrestleMania, unless you guys do you guys think they'll push it up to SummerSlam? I don't know.
No, but it'll probably be when The Rock starts showing up again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know when that is. Some people are saying SummerSlam. I think it might be WrestleMania season, and Cody will have his share of people in between. Do we think that Cody Rhodes can potentially lose the championship anytime soon, like before he even fights Cody Rhodes with The Rock? Do you guys think that's a possibility?
It is, but I don't think it will happen. So
I
Yeah.
think we're about to see another long reign.
yeah,
I don't think it's
another
going to be
one.
3 years though. I don't
Oh
know if
no,
they
it ain't gonna be 3 years, but it'll definitely be
a year.
6 to 9 months.
Yeah, at least a decent one. I don't think they're going to be title hopping like the Attitude Era, but um, I think he'll have a pretty long reign, and maybe they'll just keep giving it to him, and he'll eventually reach not John Cena levels, but maybe like at least be like a 6-time champion or something like that.
Yeah.
22.
But yeah, then the honestly, this Raw kind of flew by. It was 3 hours, but I didn't think that initial segment lasted 45 minutes, but apparently it did. We had Ilya Dragunov versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That was a really good match. Showcased Dragunov's skills in front of a new crowd. Really good match. Shinsuke Nakamura kind of feels like the new Dolph Ziggler, where they just kind of put him in front of upcoming talent or people that might need an extra boost. And, Nakamura might be fine with that. I think maybe they'll even put him in NXT just so he could give more of the male roster a boost there, because I think their male roster on NXT might be a little lacking, not like the women's roster, which is really good on NXT. We had the Awesome Truth and John Cena. This is another really good segment. You had Judgment Day coming out, saying how good they are. They're all raising their titles, and then R-Truth from behind like raises his tag team championship, and they had this whole segment. Turns into a tag match. John Cena comes out eventually. Some people thought it was just going to be Little Jimmy or nobody at all, which I guess Little Jimmy is nobody. Really fun match. We had Roxanne Perez. She defeated Indy Hartwell. They continue to go with the whole feud between Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. I think Candice LeRae needed something, and at least this heel character makes her interesting, because before she didn't really have anything going for
call that
character wise,
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that's all I can say until they do something else. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable defeating Imperium. That was good. I'm kind of expecting Chad Gable to turn on Sami Zayn. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen eventually. But really good workers. I feel like that could be a potentially good first challenger for his title. I mean, I think he's challenging for the title.
Yep.
He said he was. And we got Jade Cargill defeating Chelsea Green in like a classic Jade Cargill AEW squash match. She just kind of came out, kicked her, did her finisher. 1, 2, 3. I'm fine with that if that's what they're going to do for a little while. What do you guys think of giving her the Goldberg treatment? Do you like that idea to continue that in WWE, or not that great?
I think she should keep winning, and if she has a streak, she should get challenged a little bit more as it goes on. But for like the whole Chelsea Green being squashed, like there isn't a more perfect person to get another person over in a squash than Chelsea Green right now.
She's just really good at it, and she knows her role, and she does it really well. But I'd also like to see Chelsea Green to get a women's championship at least once. I don't see why she can't. She's just really charismatic. Yeah, and then our main event was a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got Jey Uso versus Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre, and then Bronson Reed. Really good match. I thought that I was thinking that Drew McIntyre would win this, so I was surprised that Jey Uso won. Through no fault of Drew's, because CM Punk came out from under the ring, grabbed Drew McIntyre by the leg, got distracted, got hit by Jey Uso, and then he got pinned. And this is clearly happening with CM Punk versus Drew. There is a match happening in the future, and they're just extending it and just having each other go kind of tit for tat on these matches. I mean, Drew's talking shit. I mean, he's kind of getting his just desserts, but it's really funny. What can I say? What do you guys think? Do you think Jey Uso has a chance in hell of defeating Damian Priest at Backlash? What
If
do you
he's
think?
gonna beat anybody, it could be Damian Priest.
That's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I feel like they have a pretty similar amount of stature within the company, like power. If we're looking at believability for who can win. So, but I don't know. I don't think Damian Priest is gonna drop it that quickly. I think
No,
he'll
I don't
have it
either.
for 2 months, but then is it a heel versus heel at Clash at the Castle, or maybe it's a triple threat with CM Punk? I don't know.
well, whatever happens at Clash of the Castle, it's kind of like with Rhea Ripley, where they're just like, okay, this is your face.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right. With Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax, both technically heels, but clearly a face in Australia. So you're right. I could see that. You're right. And that would be a good match. I mean, I think Damian Priest will retain at Backlash, but good match.
I do.
Any closing thoughts before we go? Before we wrap this baby up?
No, but I definitely think the future is bright going forward into this new era. They like to implement a lot of. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that
Wrestling's back.
draft.
I can't wait for the Tribal Chief.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm curious, how are they going to use Roman Reigns going forward? That will be a big interesting thing, because I think he's now at this point, he's not coming back as a full-time week to week. I think he'll stay as a part-time wrestler. I think that's what he wants. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Roman Reigns. They did show that, or he uploaded a reel of him on a Stairmaster or something. It looked like he was walking slowly, so I'm just assuming it's a Stairmaster. Basically saying like morning, we mourned, or something like that, and today's day one. So he's starting new, and I think he'll be a face when he comes back, because how can you not when you have that reign and you're gone for a while, you know? But,
Yeah.
well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more wrestling madness. Until then, keep marking out.